In 740 CE, an entire empire converted to Judaism, every king, every court, every official decree, but your history books never mentioned it, and the reason why is stranger than the conversion itself. You were never told this. There's a reason for that. Between the Black Sea and the Caspian, where Europe ends and Asia begins, there was a kingdom, the Khazars. They controlled the most valuable real estate on earth. Every trade route connecting China to Rome ran through their territory. Silk, spices, slaves, gold, all of it moved through Khazar gates. At their peak, they governed territory larger than Western Europe. Their capital, Atil, sat at the mouth of the Volga and held courts for every religion, Muslim, Christian, pagan, Jewish, each tried under its own law. In 730 CE, they stopped the Arab Caliphate's northward advance cold. Without the Khazars, Islam reaches France decades before anyone stops it. They didn't make your textbook, but they made the world you inherited. Around 740 CE, the Khagan, their ruling king, converted to Judaism. Officially, the state religion of the Khazar Empire became Judaism. This is the only documented case in history of a ruling class of non-Semitic origin adopting the Jewish faith as a national religion. The Khagan didn't do it quietly. He summoned representatives of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism and had them argue their case. Then he chose, and the choice was surgical. The Byzantine Empire to the west was Christian. The Arab Caliphate to the south was Muslim. Adopting either faith made you a satellite, a subordinate, a target. Judaism was the one major faith on the board with no army behind it, no caliphate demanding loyalty, no empire expecting tribute. It was the only move that kept the Khazars sovereign. They didn't convert out of belief. They converted out of survival. For 2 centuries, the Khazar Khaganate held the line between two civilizations. They absorbed invasions. They kept internal peace across religious lines. In the 9th century, they hired Norse raiders called the Rus who settled, became the Kievan Rus, and founded what is now Russia and Ukraine. The Khazars shaped the genetic and political architecture of Eastern Europe. Then in 969 CE, Prince Sviatoslav of Kiev turned on them. He stormed Atil, burned it to the ground, and erased 2 centuries of empire inside a single campaign. And that is not even the strangest part. But here's what doesn't add up. Empires leave ruins, chronicles, successor states. The Khazars left almost nothing. The city of Atil has never been fully excavated. Soviet archaeologists searched for decades and kept their findings classified. In the 1950s, historian Mikhail Artemonov published a serious Khazar history and was immediately silenced by the state. In 1976, Arthur Koestler, respected author, not a crank, published a book called The 13th Tribe. His argument was simple. The Khazars didn't disappear after 969. They scattered into Eastern Europe and took their Judaism with them. The academic establishment didn't debate the book. They buried it. Here is what they didn't want you sitting with. If Koestler was right, if the scattered Khazars seeded the Jewish communities of Poland, Ukraine, Hungary, and the Rhineland, then the ancestry at the center of modern Jewish identity doesn't trace cleanly back to ancient Judea. It traces in significant part to a Turkic steppe empire that chose Judaism the way a chess player moves a piece. Most of the world's Jewish population today is Ashkenazi, Eastern European origin. Certain modern political claims, borders, statehood, right of return, rest partly on a bloodline argument, on continuity from ancient Israel. Koestler didn't just raise a historical question. He raised a political one. Modern genetic studies have pushed back. Most geneticists reject the Khazar hypothesis at scale, but not all studies agree. Some show admixture patterns that don't resolve cleanly into a Levantan origin, and the reaction to the question, not answering it, just asking it, has been disproportionate every time. Careers ended, books quietly delisted, journals that won't touch it, funding cut before it starts. That is not how you treat a settled academic question. That is how you treat a live wire. If one empire's conversion can sit at the foundation of modern borders, of statehood, of wars being fought right now, then history isn't the past. It is the architecture of the present. The people who control what you believe about the past control the legitimacy of everything built on top of it. The Khazars were inconvenient not because they were dangerous or wrong, but because they existed. Because their story introduces a question no government, no religious institution, no curriculum can afford to leave open. So they erased them. And when someone tried to unerase them, they made sure you didn't hear about that either. That's not an accident, that is a pattern. And the Khazars are not the only place you find it. The capital of the most powerful empire in medieval Eurasia has never been fully excavated. Archaeologists know approximately where Attal stood. The tools exist. The funding could be found. Nobody is digging. That's either negligence or a decision. Think carefully about which one is more likely.